Hey everyone, welcome to the Wolf Gaming Parrot. I am David, I'm joined by Chip and Fish, my cockatiels, and today we're going to be talking about how to bond with your cockatiel. Now, I've got a general bonding video, but people kept requesting a specific video, and I know that bonding video doesn't get as many views, so I thought I'd make this video just so you guys can get some specific tips on bonding with your cockatiel. Before I begin, I want to talk a little bit about cockatiels in general and some things you need to be aware of when you're working on bonding. The first two things I'd like you to be aware of is that you need to go at the cockatiel's own pace, and that means you don't need to rush. Obviously, when you get your bird home, you want to interact with it, you want to get it out, you want to do all those fun things with it, but it's important you take your time, you don't rush, and you go at your bird's own pace. The other thing I want to mention is every bird, especially parrots, is an individual, so you need to bear that in mind as well. Some may bond quicker, some might bond slower. So there's two unique species traits I want to discuss with you as well about cockatiels specifically. The first is they tend to be a little bit flightier than other parrots. This means they can be more nervous, they may be a little bit less trusting your hand, they may just start flapping around like crazy sometimes. So this is something you need to bear in mind when you're working on bonding, and that means you need to take it in a very calm, sort of relaxed approach with them, and just generally take it, as I mentioned, take it at your own pace, but be very calm and be very level with them. Don't make any sudden moves. Leading on from this is that cockatiels can sometimes take a little bit longer to trust us humans than other birds. Conures tend to trust a little bit quicker, again depending on individual circumstances, but cockatiels may take a bit longer. So do bear that in mind, especially if your cockatiel hasn't been hand-reared or it's a rescue. It may take a little bit longer to gain its trust and bond with it. So the first step when you're bonding with any cockatiel is something I like to call passive bonding. And passive bonding is literally what it sounds like. You sit next to their cage and you just do your own thing. That could be just reading a book, scrolling in your mobile, browsing the internet, watching one of my videos, or anything you would like to, but you're not actually interacting with them. So you're not putting your hands up, you're not looking at them, just doing your own thing around them. And this helps them get used to your presence, but also helps reinforce that you're not going to be reaching in there and grabbing them or posing them any threat. You're just there, you're doing their own thing, you're letting them do their own thing. So it helps set a nice sort of level of boundary between you and them, and it helps to establish an initial level of trust. And this is something that a lot of people skip with bonding because they feel they should be getting them out immediately and doing all sorts of things. But this passive bonding step is very important. I highly recommend it to anyone who's working on bonding with their parrot. So once you've done some passive bonding, the next thing I'd recommend is something called active bonding. So I just talked about doing things and not actively interacting with them. Now you actually do want to interact with them. So this means you want to be feeding them through the bars with their favourite treat, which for most cockatiels normally is millet, but you can try all sorts of different things, and just being nice and calm, just holding the treat there, letting them come and take it. And then you can even maybe put your hand in a cage just in there, hold it very, very still, let them get used to that. You can also talk to them. A lot of people seem to think it's a bit hokey talking to your parrot, but I think it's great because they get used to your voice, get used to your sounds. It helps with training later on as well because they associate your voice with treats and all sorts of fun things. And it just helps, again, establish that level of bond and gets them used to you being around. So I'm just going to show you guys a quick example of active bonding through the bars. I've just got some millet in my hands. I'm just going to hold it up. I'm going to encourage Chip or Fish to come and take it. Hold it very still. Obviously these guys are well used to me, so they're just going to probably take it straight away. Fish is more interested in this toy. And that's all you want to do, just hold it still and get them to take the treat from you and associate your presence with something positive. You can also talk to them nice and calmly. And he doesn't like the camera very much, so that's very scary, so I'll get Sophie to take that away a little bit. And yeah, that's all you want to do. Just keep offering treats and getting them used to you and making it a nice positive experience for them. So once you've done your passive bonding next to the cage, you've done your active bonding in and around the cage, the next step you want to be taking with bonding is training. And the very first thing I recommend with training is target training. And target training is just holding up a stick and getting them to touch it for a reward and positive reinforcement. You can also pair it with a clicker, that sort of thing. I've got a video on it, which I'll leave a card for now in case you want to learn more about it, because this is an essential skill for any parrot owner. But once you've done that, you may want to be getting your bird to start stepping up. And with step up training, you need to be taking that slow as well. You need to make sure you always reinforce it because it is a trick, and you need to keep it nice and consistent as well, because sometimes it's easy to wave your hands about and expect the cockatiel to just want to get on it. It's not going to be a thing. Also, with cockatiels especially, they may be a bit scared of hands, so you could consider sleeving your hand or providing a perch, because they may be more confident stepping up into a perch, and then once you train them to step up into that perch, then you can bring the hand in. I thought I'd just show you guys a clip of a bit of basic target training. I'm just going to grab my clicker as well. Sophie films the boys doing their fun things. So here we go. All I'm going to do is try and get Fish to touch the end of the stick, click, and give him a treat straight away. That's all you want to do. And leading on from this, once you've done a bit of targeting and their confidence stepping up, you can do all sorts of other types of training. Targeting especially leads on to training of tricks, for example, spin, wave, all sorts of things. And then you can train them to tidy up, like with Chip here. Got a video on how to train cockatiels to learn tricks with toys, which I'll leave a card for now. And that's just another awesome trick that helps with bonding. Generally, any sort of trick training will help with bonding. So if you're working with them, they're getting used to your voice, you're always reinforcing them, and anything they do with you is fun, that's going to help your bonding, and it's going to help reinforce that positive association with you. Good boy. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you found these tips on bonding with your cockatiel useful. If you have any tips of your own or you'd like to comment, please feel free to talk down below. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Take care and have a great day.